next session on operations research. In this session, we will take up the second numerical on the topic of dynamic programming. It is a type 2 problem on capital budgeting problem. The owner of a chain of 4 grocery stores has purchased 6 crates of fresh strawberries. The following table gives the estimated profits at each store when it is allocated various number of boxes. So here we can see there are certain stores given and certain number of boxes given to us. The owner does not wish to split crates between stores but is willing to make 0 allocations. This is important. Find the allocation of 6 crates so as to maximize the profit. Now the first thing that you need to understand is the stores that is given over here. It is representing the stages and number of boxes are indicating the stage variables. So there are actually total 4 stages and 6 stage variables, as you can see. So I will write down let x1, x2, x3 and x4 be the number of crates allotted to the 4 stores, and f1 x1, f2 x2, f3 x3 and f4 x4, these will be the respective profits. So the problem now becomes maximize z is equal to f1 x1 plus f2 x2 plus f3 x3 plus f4 x4. It is subject to constraint x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus x4. This should be less than equal to 6, where your x1, x2, x3 and x4, they are either greater than or equal to 0. So now I'll start with stage 1. Here what I'll do is I will write down the estimated profit corresponding to different number of boxes allocated to store 1. So I'll write down store 1, for which I am writing number of boxes, that is x1, and profit is f1 x1. Now I'll get this data from here. As you can see, number of boxes is given here for store 1. So I'll write down these values for f1 x1. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and here we have 0, 4, 6, 7, 7, 7, 7. So here I finish with stage 1. Now I'll go to stage 2. Now I'll consider the first 2 stores. I will write down store 1. Value is f1, x1 and f1 x1. These 2 values we need to write down. Then we will talk about store 2. The value is x2 and f2 x2. These values are from here, which I just wrote. Here again I'll write down 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And f2 x2 is the value from here, 0, 2, 4, 6. So this is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 and 10. Now I'm going to add the values. So this is 0 plus 0, 0 and 0 added to all the profit values. So this is 0, 4, 6, 7, 7, 7, 7. For the next one, this value is 1. So I can add maximum up to 5. So this will be 2 added to each value. Then I'll add 4 to the values up to 4 itself. Then I'll add 6 to each of them up to 3. So this will be 6, 10, 12, 13. Then I'll add 8. Next I'll add 9. And then finally I'll add 10 to only the first value, such that the summation of x1 plus x2 should be less than equal to 6. Then I'll start with the diagonal marking. So here the maximum is 0 itself. Here the maximum is 4. This is 6 at 2 places. This is 8 at 2 places. Here the maximum is 10 again at 2 places. Along this diagonal you have the maximum value as 12 again at 2 places. And in the last one the maximum value is 14. So I will write down the allocation here. The optimal profits and corresponding allocations of boxes to the two stores are given by, first I'll write down boxes and then I'll write down f2x2 plus f1x1 and finally I'll write down x2 plus x1 value. So first I'll write down 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here the value was maximum. Here I'm writing the maximum value. So for the first one it is 0, second 4, third 6. So I'll write down the values correspondingly. And finally I will write down what is the value of x1 plus x2 at this position. So x2 is 0, x1 is 0. For the second value, x2 is 0, x1 is 1. See to it that you write x2 plus x1 in that order. So here my stage 2 completes. So next I'll go for stage 3, where I'll consider the distribution of 6 boxes to 3 stores, 1, 2 and 3. Again I'll make a table. So I'll start with boxes. x2 plus x1. Here I have f2 x2 plus f1 x1. Then I'll write down store 3. So corresponding x3 and f3 x3. So this will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the profit value is 0, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Here again I'll have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the value over here is 0, 6, 8, 8, 8, 8 and 8. So now I'll add first value 0 to each of them. So this becomes 0, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. I'll add 6 to only 5 of them. So this becomes 6, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Then I'll add 8. Again I'll add 8. Again 8. And last 8 again. So now I am going to find the maximum value. So here it is 0, 6, 10, this is 12, here the value is 14, here the maximum is 16, and in the last case this will be 18 at 2 places. So I'll write down the optimal profits and allocations. We'll have boxes F3x3 plus F2x2 plus F1x1 and finally x3 plus x2 plus x1 in that order. Here we have numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we have the profits. That is the maximum value we found over here. So this is 0, 6, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. And last I am going to add x3 to the value of x2 plus x1. So here x3 value is 0 and x2 plus x1 is 0. Then we have 1 as x3 and here the value is 0. And accordingly I'll write for each of them. So this completes my stage 3 and last I'll go for stage 4 where I'll consider the distribution of 6 boxes to 4 stores. So I'll write down boxes. Then I'll write down F3x3 plus F2x2 plus F1x1. Then I'll write down x4 value. Then I'll have F4x4. And lastly, I'll add the total profit, that is F4x4 plus F3x3 plus F2x2 plus F1x1. All the values together. So first we'll write down the boxes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. F3x3 plus F2x2 plus F1x1 is this one. So I'm writing from here this row 0, 6, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Now I write down the value of x4. When you see the value of x4, we will start writing in reverse. And also it's f4 x4 in reverse value. The reason is maximum number of crates should be 6. So if this is 0, this has to be 6. This has to be 1 plus 5, 6. 2 plus 4. So written in reverse order, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Check the summation of these two will always be equal to 6. Now f4 x4 written in reverse order. Finally add this one and this one together to form the last one. So this is 4, 10, 14, 16, 17, 18 and 18. Highest value is 18. So there are more number of allocations possible. So I'll write down the maximum profit is 18 for x4. Value of x4, if you check over here, it will be either 1 or 0. So I'll write here x4 is 1 or 0. Now going back, we will have to find out the other optimal allocations that can be possible. So we'll have to trace back. So if you see here, I have figured out this and this, 1 and 0. If x4 is 1 and 0, you will have different allocations of x3, x2 and x1. When you trace back to this table, you can see the maximum value over here is 18. When I have this maximum value as 18, here the value of x3 is either 2 or 1. So I figured out x4 is 1, 0. From here I figured out x3 is 2 or 1 from here. So let me write down a table now where I'll write down the possible optimal allocations. There are few of them possible. First I'll write out the value of x1, x2, x3 and x4. So you can see that the value of x4 will be either 1 or 0. The value of x3 will be either 1 or 2. For x2 and x1, you need to first understand that these two will add up to either 2 or maximum 3. So these two should add up to either 3 or less than 3. So here if I go back, if x2 is 4 in any possibility, 4 plus 2 is 6, 4 plus 1 is 5, 4 plus 0 is 4. So we can have the value of x2 as 4. Suppose if I have the value of x2 as 4, then the value of x1 in that situation, 4 plus 0 is 4 plus 1 is 5. So x1 has to be 1. I can choose, if highest is 4, I can choose the lesser values also, that is 1, 2 and 3. 3 plus 2 is 5 plus 0 and here it is 1. Suppose if I choose this is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4, 0. So it is still 4 plus 1, 5. So can I add 2 more to make it 6? So this is how I figure out what are the combinations possible for x1, x2, x3 and x4. Now how many combinations are possible? I have figured out there are 8 of them possible. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'll write x1 as 1 and this is 2. This will be 2 and this is 1. These are just the combinations possible that I'm showing you. So I'll just write down the entire table and discuss with you. So as you can see, I have made a table of the number of possibilities. So there are 8 of them such that the maximum profit will be 18. If you choose any one combination, you should make note of it that these all value will always sum up to 6. So with this, I end the session. I hope you have understood the numerical. If you have any doubts, please write to me in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon for latest video updates. See you in the next session. Thank you.